Yes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Up in Your Business with Kerry McCoy, a production of flagandbanner.com. Through storytelling and conversational interviews, this weekly radio show offers listeners first-hand insight in starting and running a business, the ups and downs of risk-taking, and the commonalities of successful people. Connect with Kerry through her candid, often funny, and informative weekly blog, where you'll read and comment on life as wife, mother, daughter, and entrepreneur. And now it's time for Kerry McCoy to get all up in your business.
For the next hour, my guest, entrepreneur and community activist Susie Cowen, and I will be getting up in the business of supporting local businesses, artists, and musicians. And we'll be talking about tomorrow's 5th annual festival, Legends of Arkansas. We hope through our storytelling of how we maneuvered the path of entrepreneurship in pursuit of our dreams that you will learn something, want to get involved, or be inspired to take action in your own life. And we'll be answering questions via phone and email. For me, it began over 40 years ago when I founded Arkansas Flag and Banner. During the last 4 decades, Arkansas Flag and Banner has grown and morphed from door-to-door sales to telemarketing to mail order and catalog sales, and now relies heavily on the internet. Each change in sales strategy requires a change in company thinking and procedures. My confidence, leadership quality, and my confidence grew. My initial $400 investment now produces nearly $4 million in annual sales. Each week on this show, you'll hear candid conversations between me and my guests about real-world experiences on a variety of businesses and topics that I hope you'll find interesting. Starting and running a business or organization is like so many things. It takes persistence, perseverance, and patience. I worked part-time jobs for 9 years before Arkansas Flag and Banner grew enough to support just me. It's now grown so much that to operate efficiently, we require 10 departments and 25 people to maintain them, thus reminding us all again that small businesses are not only the fuel of our economic engine, but also impact and empower people's lives. Before we start, I want to introduce you to the people at the table. We have my technician, Tim, who'll be running the board and taking your calls. Say hello, Tim.
Hello, Tim.
My guest today is Susie Cowen, founder and executive director of the festival Legends of Arkansas. Susie first began her Arkansas career as a midday disc jockey for KTRN in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, where she spent a decade operating the sports board, working in public relations, making sales calls, and assisting the traffic director. Also during this time, Cowan became the executive officer for the Pine Bluff Jaycees. This is when she fell in love with event planning for the community. She planned Easter egg hunts, Christmas parades, 4th of July fireworks, chili cook-offs, and golf tournaments. In 2013, Cowan fulfilled a dream of hers by starting a festival in North Little Rock called Legends of Arkansas, whose mission is to promote Arkansas's own musicians, artists, craftsmen, and indie businesses. Just a year after starting this festival, Cowan led the conversation that inspired Local First Arkansas, an organization for independent businesses in the state. She has followed that theme with yet another grassroots idea, a reward loyalty discount card simply named Local Arkansas. She's trying to mess me up with all these local Arkansas business. But we'll dissect it all here in a minute, explain it to all the listeners. Celebrating their 5th year, Legends of Arkansas 2017 Festival is September the 16th. And here to talk with us today is its founding member, Susie Cowen.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate you inviting me on here.
Oh, you're so welcome. You actually contacted me, which is one of the first one to come on that I didn't know, and I met you today. It's nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you, Kerry.
So let's talk about the festival at the beginning of the show, and then we'll talk about it at the end of the show for the people who are tuning in and out. Legends of Arkansas.
Yeah.
Tell us about that name.
Man, so the name has been a blessing and a curse, but you were right. You hit it on the nose when you said it's not about the legends of the past. It is about what's going on today in Arkansas, what we're going to look back at in 10 to 20 years and remember as the legends of Arkansas in our memories and in our lives. And that is the people that own businesses. That is the people that make jewelry or the new breweries. The musicians, the artists, the talented people that make up our community here in Arkansas.
They are the legends.
They are.
So it's not past legends, it's
No.
current legends.
It is.
So for your festival, were y'all just sitting around the room one day and you just came up with that idea? Or was it your idea, or how did it kind of come about?
It was me and 6 of my friends. And we...
You were all down at Vino's drinking beer?
No, but we could have been. It is fun, and especially on Sundays. We just wanted to create an event that was actually statewide, that pulled in all the artists and the musicians, and it's not just Little Rock, or it's not just Northwest Arkansas or Northeast Arkansas, but that gave us a place to kind of find out what everybody's doing, find out who's showcasing what this year, find out what musicians are releasing what, or what artists are up to now. It's almost like an annual check-in or showcase of what's happening in Arkansas today.
Well, 5 years, that's a big deal. It's working.
It is.
It really is working. When do y'all start planning it?
It's at
All
12
year.
months, yeah.
So who are some of the musicians?
So this year is a really exciting all headliner lineup on the stage. There's not one band that's not headliner material. So the day starts with Brian Nolan. He does the college radio show on here, I think.
On KABF?
On Saturdays, I think it is. So the Brian Nolan Band, and he just released a CD a few months ago that includes an all-star cast of musicians from Central Arkansas. So we're really excited to have that whole band out there. And then there's going to be Dads and Bree, and they actually won their spot when they won the Arkansas Times Musicians Showcase. So they won a spot at Riverfest, and then they won a spot at Legends of Arkansas as part of their prize. And then is Rodney Block.
Everybody knows Rodney Block.
He needs no description. He's fantastic. And then Knox Hamilton. And they are Arkansas's own boy band.
Really?
Yes.
I love boy bands. I really do.
Then you should definitely come see Knox Hamilton.
I mean, Justin Timberlake's from a boy band.
Absolutely.
Where is the stage?
So it's literally almost under the Main Street Bridge.
Oh, okay.
So we're right in between the Main Street Bridge and the Broadway Bridge.
And the festival starts at 2 o'clock and goes till 9 o'clock.
Yes.
But the bands are every 2 hours or every 1 hour or
I mean, it'll be all day.
all day.
They have hour-and-a-half sets.
And the weather's going to be perfect tomorrow, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You're lucky.
Yeah.
And then you've got artists.
We do. There'll be artists lined up going down to the river, painting live. And then there'll be performing artists of all kinds, stilt walkers, fire throwers, hula hoop artists, hula hoop dancers from Arkansas Circus Arts. We will have a roaming magician, which is Paul Prater, and just all kinds of things.
I love that artist painting live. I bet you can get some caricatures of yourself if you wanted to. And then we've got vendors.
Yes,
I mean, that is the backbone of the small businesses of our community.
it is.
You got Lob Lolly, I guess.
Absolutely.
Anybody else? I mean, everybody loves ice cream.
Yeah. So we have Blackhound Barbecue. I know they're going to be there. Kathmandu Momo. This guy makes Nepalese dumplings, and they are out of this world. He has a little spot in the river market now, but he started with a truck. So now he has 2 trucks and a spot in the river market.
How many food vendors do you think you have?
There's 8.
That's nice. And then it's family friendly.
Absolutely. The kids area this year is going to be absolutely amazing and filled with different activities.
Like what?
There's going to be a baby pool full of bubble juice. There is painting
I'm
rocks.
so glad I'm so glad I'm not a parent. Bring a change of clothes.
Yeah, absolutely. Just all kinds of crafts. And then there's karaoke. So it's karaoke for kids that's going to go on from 3 to 5. And then there's an open mic where anybody can get up and kind of do their thing. And then just different, like I said, all different kinds of activities.
Kids love karaoke.
Oh, yeah.
You better get ready for a line.
Oh, I know.
And they just get up there and give it their all. I love watching kids do karaoke. So the atmosphere is family friendly.
It is absolutely family
And
friendly.
it's hip and cool.
It is.
What do you think the age group is?
Oh,
You don't have to say.
6 months to 80 years old.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Isn't it sad to hear that after 40 years, Riverfest will no longer be happening in May on the Little Rock side of the river? Do you think you'll be getting any of the Riverfest volunteers who are jonesing for a festival fix?
It is really sad. That's a big loss for our community. Will we get some volunteer?
Have you had any?
Well, okay. So that's kind of a loaded question.
It is?
Because
Good.
we actually gave Legends of Arkansas to the van last year. So now it's their annual fundraiser. They're the 100%.
To who?
The van. They help the homeless here in Central Arkansas.
Okay, the van that helps the homeless.
So
You gave Legends of Arkansas to them. What does that mean?
Yes. So there was 6 of us that started it. And then we didn't really know what we were getting ourselves into and had to start a nonprofit to support it and then ran it for 5 years. And it outgrew us. We're over 20,000 attendees now. And that's a lot for 6 people that have no experience in large special events. So last year we gave the festival to the van.
Well, it's
So-
not a big organization, is it?
They have a whole lot more supporters than we do.
Really? I just thought it was one guy who drove around in a van. I
There's-
really
I
did.
think there's 5 vans now, and he has a team of about 20 people.
You think they're equipped to put on a festival?
Absolutely. They're out there setting it up right now.
So you don't have anything else to do with it besides you're just a super volunteer?
Well, this year I did the event planning, so I'm 100% involved. Next year I'm hoping to be about 20% involved. That's the goal.
Because you've got other businesses you've started. We're going to talk about
We
them.
do. And another festival.
What? Oh, don't let me. I got to write that down to remember to ask you. Another festival. All right, don't let me forget to mention that. I didn't find that on your website. And it's time for us to take a break. But before we do, I want to tell everybody it's our birthday, isn't it, Tim?
That is right. It is our birthday.
You're listening to Up in Your Business with me, Kerry McCoy. My guest today is Pine Bluff, Arkansas native and founder of the North Little Rock Festival Legends of Arkansas, Susie Cowen. Let's learn about you, Susie. You said, now we are going to go back and talk about your festival at the end of the show, but to learn about you, you said you left Arkansas for a while during your college years.
Mhm.
Can you tell us about that?
It was actually radio that led me to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where I went to the American Broadcasting School while I worked part-time at the Tulsa Comedy Club.
You're a stand-up comedian?
No. I just worked the door. I just like funny people, so it seemed like the appropriate job.
Well, you and I ought to get along well then.
But no, it was a really great time in my life, and I was an intern at the Edge in Tulsa, and that's when Edge Fest was big, huge in the end of the 90s, like 97, 98, and I met all the big bands, and my job became like autograph. So I would go back, the autograph booth, I was in charge of it. So I would go back and get all the bands and bring them up to the autograph booth and make sure they had everything they needed while they were signing autographs for the bands. So I mean, it was a really cool little gig and kind of hooked me on radio and events. And then when I started my family, we of course had to come home because that's where my family is, and back to Pine Bluff, and went to work for K-Train and had like, I don't know, 5 or 6 titles.
K-Train is KTRN,
It is.
a Pine Bluff radio station.
It is.
Is your husband from Pine Bluff?
No,
Where's he from?
he's from Oklahoma.
He's from Tulsa, and he came to Pine Bluff, Arkansas. That is love. People, that's love. Is he a band guy? Did you meet him?
He actually plays in the band Freeverse, and they are actually doing the after party at 4 Bar tomorrow night. It's the official after party for Legends.
That's private, though, isn't it?
No,
Oh,
please come. It'll be a great time.
I think it's past my bedtime. So you went to KTRN, where you were everything. You were the disc jockey,
Mm-hmm.
Ford Sports.
Mm-hmm.
You sold ads.
Mm-hmm.
You supported you did the traffic
Yeah.
control.
Well, I was the assistant traffic manager.
You assisted the traffic manager. What made, and then during that time, you decided to volunteer for the Pine Bluff Jaycees.
Yes.
And that's when you fell in love with event planning.
Absolutely.
Tell us about that.
So, well, it's a small town in Arkansas, so there's not just a whole lot to do. And I realized that the community events were the key to a healthy community. So as we were promoting the businesses at the radio and getting to know the different businesses and what they need, it just kind of made sense to incorporate them into the community events, connect them with their consumers. You become friends, you want to support somebody. So it's kind of that time period in my life that led me to where I am today, of devoting all of my time to supporting businesses and then trying to connect the businesses with the consumers.
And you moved to Little Rock. What happened that changed that life to the life you have now?
I got a job at Equity Broadcasting, programming TV stations up here in 2008, and moved my family up here. And about, I think, 4 or 5 months later, they went bankrupt. And we all got laid off. And they had been around forever. They programmed 101 TV stations all over the nation for 20 years before I got there. So
It was all about you.
I know. That's how I got there. And that just led me into a time period where I went back to school, got some marketing under my belt. And I actually, it was May 4th of 2013, turned to my friend and said, I'm absolutely just crazy bored. Let's do something big.
How many kids did you have?
I have 3 kids. Well, I had 2 at the time. So.
And that just wasn't, I understand, that wasn't quite, it was fulfilling, but not fulfilling in a whole way.
Well, I wasn't really involved in the community in any way at that time because I was just being a mother and going to school and in my own little world. So I had kind of I was missing that part of being the community involvement. And so that's kind of why, that had a lot to do. We wanted to build something to showcase our friends that are musicians and artists and that own stores and make T-shirts and make soap. We wanted to build something for our circus friends that perform all over the state but don't really have a place to do that here. So that's...
Well, a lot of people get on the phone and talk to their girlfriend about feeling unfulfilled, but they don't do what you did. Tell me how you did it.
Sometimes I wonder if it's not just like blind determination, because if I stopped to think about it or put the numbers to it, I would have quit a long time ago. The hundreds of hours that we've put into this event, the years of volunteers, just and then when we go out there and work 22 hours in one day, and every year we just sign right back up to do it again. So it's a lot of dedication, but the moments that are created at Legends of Arkansas are something that will live forever. And they can't be recreated because it's our community that built it.
And that's what keeps you going?
Absolutely.
So if I want to start a festival tomorrow,
yes,
what's the first thing I would do?
Dig deep into your community. Get with your Boy Scouts. Get with your nonprofits of any kind. Invite everyone to be involved. Like in the past, we've had, Thea involved. We've had, obviously, the Vans involved. In fact, that's how Aaron and I met. So to just like, we know it's working because
Who's Aaron?
Aaron is the director of the van that we gave Legends to.
Oh.
We met at 2014 Legends of Arkansas. So that's the connections that we're trying to make happen or create an environment for them to happen. And it's just magic from there.
And did you pick September always as the date you wanted to have it? And Argenta?
So we started at the Riverfront Amphitheater in 2013, and the first 3 years were over in Little Rock. In 2016, we moved to North Little Rock to Argenta because it's fantastic and we love it over there. And we have a smaller event that we do in the spring that is Legends in Argenta. So we moved the big event over there last year. The property left a lot to be desired, though. It had big rocks all over it. It just didn't, on paper it looked great, but it just didn't work out at all. So now we have the most perfect spot in all of North Little Rock.
Well, that's good. I didn't talk about this when you were a JC, but you learned pyrotechnics.
Yes. I am a licensed pyrotech.
I know. Is that dangerous?
Honestly, I have blown up fireworks my whole life, really big ones right in your face. But if you want to experience fireworks, when Dickie Stevens does their firework extravaganza, go to the property, the North Shore Riverwalk, and walk up and sit on that hill right behind Dickie Stevens. It'll be the most intense experience of your life.
Can you feel it in your chest?
Oh my gosh, yes.
I don't think I'd like that. So let's talk about what came from all the connections.
Yes.
You already have a little bit, but
Yes.
let's talk more about the connections that came from your festival, because the very next year, 2014,
Yeah.
you started another one of your brainchildren called Local First Arkansas.
Yeah, so I literally was working in my friend's store at the Freckled Frog, because when you run festivals and nonprofits, you don't get paid a whole lot. So you have to work for your friends for money. So I was working at the Freckled Frog, which is right next to Cash, and a gentleman came in by the name of Mike Steele, and he asked me the business story, because he was he's who brought 1 million cups to Little Rock.
What is that?
It's an entrepreneurial program that is sponsored by the Kaufman Foundation from Kansas City, but they do it in 80 cities all over the country at 9 a.m. every Wednesday morning. And ours is now at the hub, at the Arkansas Regional Innovation Hub, every Wednesday morning at 9 a.m. And they tell entrepreneurial stories in hopes to connect the community and inspire people. And I've never seen anything work better here in Little Rock.
Really?
Yes. Every time I need to hire somebody, I go to 1 Million Cups and look around that room, and somebody's right there to fill that.
What a great tip. So if I want to hire somebody, I go to 1 Million Cups on what time, what
It's
day?
9 a.m. every Wednesday morning. And what I mean by hire someone is, if I have a question about graphic arts, well, my friend over there I've met through the program does that, or whatever it might be. But my webmaster, our marketing company, endless. The list goes on of people I've hired out of that room. So 1 Million Cups is fabulous. That's what Mike came into the store to find out about. And when I went for my huddle hour so that I could interview or I could present at 1 Million Cups, he told me, he said, "You're going to help me start Local First Arkansas." And I promise you, I looked at him like he was crazy, because I already had 3 jobs and 3 kids. I didn't know that I needed any more. But he was right. After he explained to me what Local First is, and they are also all over the country.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And Local First Arizona is who we are modeled after and mentored by. And they're the largest independent business alliance in the country, or even the world.
So there is a local, what's it called? Local First?
Local
Yeah,
First.
There's a Local First in every state.
No, not every state. There's only 3 that are statewide. There's Local First Arizona. They're the biggest and the best. And then there's Local First Utah. Other than that, we're the only other. The rest of them are usually communities. Like there's 10 in Boston within a 20-mile radius.
And the guy that does 1 Million Cups has heard about it and wanted to bring it here.
Yes, because he went to the Ballet convention, which
The
is
what convention?
Ballet. It's a beingalocalist.org. And Mr. Pat Riley, that owned the Little Rock Athletic Club for 30 years,
Right.
took a group of 12 people to the Ballet conference in 2014, right about the same time I was having Legends of Arkansas. And when they came back, they're all fired up, and they're wanting to build a independent business alliance, but Mr. Pat Riley's retired, and he doesn't want to be a director. And one of them was Jack from The Root. He's got a restaurant to run. So there wasn't anybody to lead what they were wanting to see built. So that's when I met Mike, around that time period. And he saw it in me before I even knew it existed. And it took about 2 years to get it all in motion. But we did Local First, Little Rock First, and literally spent 2 years meeting with business owners once a month, asking them, what kind of support do you need? When you're a big corporation, there's always you learn constantly. You're always going to workshops. There's always new trainings. For local business owners, that doesn't exist. And so we want to be that for our business owners. And that's what we started doing, a lot of social media classes, a lot of SEO classes. And now we realize through those 2 years plus this last year what the business owners really want. And even a group of kids from the East Initiative, we pulled them on what they think about buying local. And they said, where's our reward card system? And I can't tell you how many times I've heard business owners say, where's our reward card system? And you're talking about something that only drives traffic to our independent businesses. Now, think if outside of just the people that live here, when people come to Arkansas, don't you think they want to visit like a local?
Yeah.
Right. So we're working with the state of Arkansas through their group travel. So when people call the state of Arkansas for group travel, now this will be an option. Would you like to visit like a local? I should say hashtag visit like a local, because that's us.
Oh, okay. What is it? Hashtag?
Visit like a local. So that's
your
gonna be
hashtag?
For the tourism part of it, yes.
Mm-hmm. So I'm a little bit overwhelmed by everything you said. So when they come, if someone wants to come to visit Little Rock,
Yeah.
and be like a local, which everybody does when they travel, the Little Rock Visitor and Convention Bureau is going to say, here's your card. What are they going to give
it'll be
them?
an option. When they say, when someone calls the state of Arkansas for a group travel, there's different options. They say, do you want us to take you on a bus to the dog races? Do you want us to take you to the horse races? And now they're going to say, would you like a discount program to travel or visit like a local? And they'll have an option to buy the card.
And it's just, you just buy it for while you're here,
Yeah.
and you get a pamphlet that says, these are all the stores that are honoring this card. Go visit them, and you're going to get whatever discount the store
All
offers.
online, though. I mean, you will.
It's
get
all online.
You'll
What
get
do you
a
mean?
physical card, but there's no pamphlet of businesses.
Oh, you go online to find, and then there's a website that lists all the businesses.
Yes, absolutely.
Is that what I went to? What's the website? Do we
It'll
have it up?
launch tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
the
I went
official
to
launch is
Local
tomorrow.
First,
Yes.
which is not the same as.
Yeah, Local First Arkansas is a support organization for independent businesses in Arkansas.
That's right. And Local Arkansas is a gift card,
Yes,
so to speak.
It's a reward loyalty card.
A reward loyalty card.
Mhm.
All right, this is a great place to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to really dissect all of those. We'll come back and talk with the ambitious and community-minded Susie Cowen, founder of the Legends of Arkansas Festival that is happening tomorrow, Saturday, September the 16th, in our Jenna Arts District of North Little Rock, Arkansas. And we're going to hear about all of these different avenues. She has organizations for businesses and the statewide reward and loyalty card. And if you miss any part of this show, you can hear it on Blog Talk, and a podcast will be made available at flagandbanner.com. If you go to flagandbanner.com and click on Radio Show, there is a link to iTunes, YouTube, Blog Talk, and there's a direct download. All right.
You're listening to Up in Your Business with Kerry McCoy. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Up in Your Business with me, Kerry McCoy. My guest today is Pine Bluff, Arkansas native Susie Cowen. She is one of the founders of Legends of Arkansas Festival that is happening tomorrow, September the 16th, in the Agenta Arts District of North Little Rock, Arkansas. If you've got questions or comments for my guest or for me, this is your chance. You can call.
The number is 501-433-0088.
And you can send an email to me.
The email is questions@upyourbusiness.org.
You can also tweet me a question at Ask Kerry McCoy, and we're using the hashtag #UpInYourBusiness. For the listeners that just tuned in, you have a festival, Susie. It's $5 and it's family friendly. Tell us a little bit about the times tomorrow and, what they can expect.
Okay, so we start at 2 p.m. and we go until 9 p.m. There's going to be live music, local food trucks, art and craft vendors. There'll be artists painting live. There'll be performing artists doing stilt walking and fire and hula hoop dancing. For the kids, there's a hula hoop play shop. Barefoot Studios, Breezy is going to come out and do yoga, family yoga.
Oh.
Yeah, it's really great. It's really fun to see kids doing yoga with their parents. So that's one of our favorite features every year. She does that for us. And we encourage you to come out, bring your dogs. We have a pop-up dog park that Arkansas will be there to help take care of and spoil your furry friends.
Oh, that's nice. And it goes for a great cause. The Vans of Arkansas has grown to 5 vans, you said. And they've taken ownership over this festival.
They have.
And they're going to, the $5 just goes to a great, great cause.
It does.
And you're launching something special tomorrow.
We are. The official launch party for local Arkansas is at Legends of Arkansas 2017. So that's going to be a lot of fun.
And the local Arkansas is a loyalty and rewards card. Do you buy the card?
Yes, it is $15 for the consumers to buy the card. And then you'll get deals all over the state. One of the more popular deals right now is at DeLucas Pizza. You get $5 off a pie. I mean, that is substantial.
Where's DeLucas
savings.
Pizza?
It's in Hot Springs, and it's amazing. Oh. Anthony is a hoot. Talk about a great business owner.
So to find out who all is partnering with you on this card, you go to the website.
Yes.
And will the website be ready by tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
So
everything launches tomorrow.
Oh, good luck. Ooh, that's scary to me.
Yeah, I will give you a little preview that here in Little Rock, we have the Green Corner Store, the Freckled Frog, and Barn Mercantile have already signed on. So those are right off the bat.
How about my favorite, Lob Lolly?
Not yet, but they will.
They need to. I eat ice cream for dinner every day of my life.
Yeah, and they're a great candidate for the loyalty part.
Absolutely.
So, like, if we go in there, our 10th cone should be free, Sally.
Yeah, Sally was my second guest on this show.
She's so great.
She's great. She's a great entrepreneur. She's locally minded. You have another business that we talked about earlier that is for small business organizations, and it's called
Local First Arkansas.
And it's a group of small businesses that that come together with like minds to get training,
education, networking.
And you said you had classes. Where did you hold those classes?
We do. Most of them are done at the hub, at the Arkansas Regional Innovation Hub.
In downtown Little Rock on Main Street?
No, that's the tech park.
Okay.
The hub is actually in North Little Rock, in Argenta, across the street from Verizon.
So do you do it weekly, or do you just do it on demand, on need?
Yes, on need. That's a good way to put that. So we do a lot of assessing and try to figure out what our business owners need. And so that's how we came up with the business or the educational series. And over the past 4 months, we've been doing it in Pine Bluff now too.
Oh, that's
and
nice.
now we're headed to Hot Springs next.
So I went on your website, and it said if you join, you get optimized business listing, which is a link back to your website, which
Yes.
everybody likes that for SEO,
Mm-hmm.
you get discounts with our local media partners for marketing and advertising.
Mm-hmm.
People don't realize how important advertising is for a small business.
It is.
Every time a small business gets in trouble, first thing they cut is their advertising budget, and that's like cutting your foot off.
That's exactly right.
They need to actually advertise more.
And this is to help drown out the noise. Because if they've made it to where they're a business offer by us, that means that it's working for other people and we know them personally. You're not going to get an offer through Local First Arkansas that is not by a reliable person that is local, a locally minded fellow business owner that is providing the ones that we offer.
You get a rotation for a featured business in the directory, so you write an article about them. That's great for SEO. You get free admission to local events, some of them.
Mm-hmm.
You get a connection to locally minded business owners that you were just talking about, access to educational programs, sponsorship opportunities, and monthly newsletters. That's a lot of work. Do you do all that?
We have a working board, but yes, I direct it. I direct the traffic there.
How many members do you have?
We have over 100 business members now and 40 localists.
So if somebody wants to get involved,
Mm-hmm.
how do they do it?
www.localfirstar.com.
www.localfirstar.com.
That's us.
And this is the business model that is modeled after Arizona.
Mm-hmm. We're
and
part
Utah.
of a larger group of businesses alliances around the country. And in June, I actually went to the Sustainable Economies Conference in Boston, and we convened with everyone. It was quite fabulous to learn what has worked elsewhere in the country to bring back to Arkansas and try here.
And not everybody can afford to travel or to leave their business. So you go and do that for them, and then you come back with the information and you spread the good news.
Absolutely.
I think every time I go out of town, I learn something. I'm going to a flag convention. Yes, flag makers have conventions. I'm going to one in 2 weeks to be with other like-minded people. How much does it cost to join?
It is $125 per year for a business.
That seems
And
cheap.
it is. It's very affordable for educational opportunities, networking opportunities, directory listings, and access to good deals.
So are you in Northwest Arkansas?
Not yet. We're headed that way now.
What's your long-range goal?
Well, Local First Arizona is the biggest in the country, and they have 2,000 businesses. So not that I'm trying to beat anyone, because I'm a huge fan of their director. She's been my mentor for the past 3 years. But if we could hit that 2,000, that would be pretty sweet.
That seems doable.
It does.
It really does. You've only been in business for
1 year.
And you've already got 100.
We do.
Because I think everybody likes that. Community-minded, local, shop local, support local is really, really big right now.
It is.
If I want to buy a card
Uh-huh.
and I can't come to the festival tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
what do I do?
You'll go to localar.com. Or I'm sorry, it's mylocalar.com. And that'll be live after tomorrow.
And you can just, so you go there tomorrow to the website.
Purchase the card, and you'll have a digital version on your phone, and then they'll mail you the hard copy of the card. It's really pretty. I wish I had one to show you. I keep giving them away, though.
Well, give me one.
They'll be available at the Green Corner store just down the street, at the Barn Mercantile, and Freckle Frog after Monday.
I noticed you had a lot of restaurants that were with your business organization. So this is where we take our next break. When we come back, we'll talk with the ambitious and community-minded Susie Cowen. She's one of the founders of the Community Festival Legends of Arkansas. That is happening Saturday, September the 16th in the Argenta Arts District of North Little Rock, Arkansas. And if you miss any part of this show, a podcast will be made available next week. Just go to flagandbanner.com's website, click on Radio Show, and there'll be a link to iTunes, YouTube, and Blog Talk.
You're listening to Up in Your Business with Kerry McCoy. We'll be right back.
You're listening to Up in Your Business with me, Kerry McCoy. My guest today is Pine Bluff, Arkansas native and founder of the North Little Rock Festival Legends of Arkansas, Susie Cowen. Susie, before we tell everybody again about your Legends of Arkansas Festival, I want to ask you, where do you think all this entrepreneurship and community mindedness come from? Are your parents small business owners?
No,
Really?
no. My father was a CPA, a certified public accountant for Beard, Kurtz and Dobson.
Well, that's good for you. You can go in there and ask him questions about all this stuff. Is the first thing he says is quit working so hard for no money?
Yes, yes. That's absolutely what he says.
Being a business owner, I can listen to everything you're doing, and I know that you are getting like 5 cents an hour.
If that.
What is your big goal for your life? I mean, are you going to just be a volunteer forever?
Well, I don't know. My 7-year-old daughter asked me the other day what I was going to be when I grew up, and I could not answer that question yet.
You say, I hadn't grown up yet, honey.
I'm not there yet. I don't know. I don't know. I know what my mission is, and my mission is to connect community through events. It's what I'm good at. It's what I love. It's those moments of, silly moments like Josiah Moody, when he makes beer. He was Moody Brews. He met a guy at Legends in 2015 that made furniture. And so he had Josiah gave him the old barrels, and now he's turning it into beautiful furniture.
I love that.
I do. It's little things like that really, they change our community. They connect our community. And that's the world I want my kids to grow up in.
I think that a lot of young people have got this really wonderful way of looking at life. I've heard that the millennials are more like the World War II generation than any other generation.
Oh, wow.
I know, because are you a millennial? I think so. No?
I don't think so.
You're an Xer?
But thank you for that.
You act like a millennial. They're more community-minded, service-minded, like the greatest generation from World War II. That's a great thing to hear. From this festival that you launched in 5 years ago, so that would have been 2013, came an offshoot, a business organization, because you met all these vendors and people through this festival, and so you started another company called.
It's another nonprofit called Local First Arkansas.
And it is
a support organization for independent businesses in Arkansas.
She acts like she said that a few times.
Just a few.
And so if you're a small business person out there, you want to meet other small business like-minded people and hear the same problems over and over and over, because we all have the exact same problems. Training, hiring, learning this technology that's moving at the speed of light these days. I know one of the hardest things for me was learning how to hire, train, and know when to fire, and how to do it all correctly.
That's a good point.
It was one of the hardest things I ever had to learn in business. I could sell. I liked my product, but learning the human resources side of it was really difficult for me. And I actually began to learn it from another mentor. I had a breakfast that I went to, just exactly what you're talking about. And we met once a month. You should think about doing breakfast.
It is a good idea.
And we met once a month, and we all shared what was going on with each other. And somebody always had good advice for me.
Yeah.
So that's what it does. In addition, you get link backs, you get on your website, you get in your newsletter, you become a featured person of your story.
And actually that featured thing has now taken form in its own blog called the Boar Blog, which is Business Owners of Arkansas. And we've got these super cute little nerdy boar with big glasses on, and that's on Instagram. It's an Insta blog.
That is, y'all are so creative. If you ever need a job, if you ever want to work for money, call me. And then out of that business organization,
we did
blossomed what you're launching tomorrow, which is
Local Arkansas.
And that is
the new hottest thing that's going to hit Arkansas and save our independent businesses from bad marketing decisions.
It's a rewards card that you can that visitors to Arkansas will get.
It is. I mean, it's built for locals, but it's also built to attract and drive our tourism, because tourism is the number 2 industry in Arkansas. So as much as I, love it when people come here and go to Cracker Barrel, that's not exactly why we want them to come here. We want them to come here and go eat at the Root. We want them to come here and shop at the Green Corner store.
So I know you talked about you could buy the card for how much?
$15.
For $15. But what if I want to be one of the people on the card?
Okay, so that's a whole nother deal.
Oh, I didn't talk about that earlier.
Yeah, that's a whole nother deal. It's $500 a year. But you know what it includes? 1 year of marketing, digital marketing from like the hottest marketing company in Arkansas, and
Who's
a
that?
membership to Local First Arkansas.
Who's the hottest marketing company in Arkansas?
They're called Render Creative, and they are so cool.
Really?
Yes, they are so cool.
Are you being sarcastic?
I am not at all. And the reason why you don't know about them is because they haven't left Hot Springs until tomorrow when they go statewide.
Well, they're not the best marketing company in
Well,
Arkansas,
I
then, because I haven't heard of them.
Well, and okay.
I
We'll say the best in Hot Springs.
We get a lot of tourists at Arkansas Flag and Banner that are downtown because we're downtown. I want to join. I want to join that.
That's fantastic.
I can't believe I didn't ask about that earlier. I'm sick about it. All right. I'm so glad I met you. I'm serious. If you ever need a job, call
Thanks,
me
Kerry.
for money. No, really, I'm really happy to meet you. You're a one of a kind, really are.
Well, thank
You're a real
you.
go-getter, and I love your mission and your philosophy on life. And because you're liking Arkansas, there's a
Aw.
desk set for you of a miniature
you.
Arkansas flag and a miniature U.S. flag for you to
Need
put out
that
for
for my
all.
desk.
You do for all your local
Thank you.
Arkansas.
Keep me inspired.
There
and
you
on track.
Go. There you go. Thank you, Susie. Really, I've
Thank you,
really
Kerry.
enjoyed meeting you. Who's my guest next week, Tim?
Next week, it's going to be the former mayor of North Little Rock, the current head of the North Little Rock Parks and Recreation, Terry Hartwick.
That guy is something else. Besides being handsome, and I hope he's listening, he was the mayor of North Little Rock. He was the North Little Rock Chamber of Commerce, president of the North Little Rock Chamber of Commerce for 15 years. And, 15 years is about all you ever really want to do anything. And so now he's the director of North Little Rock Parks and Recreation. And when I called him the other day to get him on the radio, he was playing golf. I was like, yeah, that's what you get to do if you're the director of Parks and Rec.
I like it.
I do too. I want to be that. If you have a great entrepreneurial story you would like to share, I would love to hear from you. Send a brief bio and your contact info to questions@upyourbusiness.org, and someone will be in touch, just like Susie did. That's what you did, Susie. I'm so glad you did because I met you. And finally, to our listeners, thank you for spending time with me. If you think this program's been about you, you're right, but it's also been for me. Thank you for letting me fulfill my destiny. My hope today is that you've heard or learned something that's been inspiring or enlightening, and that it, whatever it is, will help you up your business, your independence, or your life. I'm Kerry McCoy, and I'll see you next time on Up in Your Business. Until then, be brave and keep it up.
You've been listening to Up in Your Business with Kerry McCoy, a production of flagandbanner.com. If you miss any part of the show or want to learn more about UIYB, go to flagandbanner.com and click on Radio Show. Like us on Facebook or subscribe to her weekly podcast wherever you like to listen. All interviews are recorded and posted the following week with links to resources you heard discussed on today's show. Underwriting opportunities available upon request. Kerry's goal is to help you live the American dream.